I come from a large family. I had three siblings. My mom and my dad, they came from even larger families. My dad and my mom had a family size of around 12. This is really good for family memories, and this is the case in most of our provinces. The question that we have now is, what happens when the father and mother decide to leave large tracts of land or estates to their children? And there are 10 children. One of the children decides to dispose of his share. More on this when we return. Article 493 of our Civil Code provides the answer to the query. Let me read the provision for you. Each co-owner shall have the full ownership of his part and of the fruits and benefits pertaining thereto, and he may therefore alienate, assign, or mortgage, and even substitute another person in its enjoyment, except when personal rights are involved. But the effect of the alienation or the mortgage with respect to the co-owners shall be limited to the portion which may be allotted to him in the division upon the termination of co-ownership. The implication, therefore, is that a co-owner may dispose of his share in the piece of property. He may not dispose of the entire mass of properties without the joint consideration and agreement of his co-owners. So for instance, if I am one of 10 heirs owning a 10-hectare piece of land, and I decide to sell that piece of land, I can only sell my share, which is 10% of that piece of land. The vendee, who is buying the piece of property for me, will be stepping in and acquiring my 10% of that piece of land. Now, take note that when the vendee steps in, when the buyer steps in, he acquires the same rights as all of the other co-owners. There are 7 rights of co-ownership, and this include the right to possess, legally known as jus possedendi, the right to use and enjoy, or jus utendi, the right to receive the fruits and accessories, or jus fruendi, the right to abuse and consume, or jus abutendi, the right to dispose or alienate, or jus disponendi, the right to recover of possession and ownership, or jus vindicandi, the right to construct any work or make plantations or excavation. He also has the rights to the ownership of hidden treasures found in the family. He has the rights to exclude others and the right to fence the property. Now, these rights are common to all of the co-owners. So when we have the buyer jumping into the place of the seller, in my case that would be me, he would acquire all of these rights. Now, the law does not favor co-ownership because, as you can see, it will be very messy to manage or administer a piece of property. So my legal advice to large families who own jointly large tracts of land or estate, please do subdivide that piece of property, split it, and get the proceeds from that property. It'll be much easier in the future, particularly when you have heirs of your own. This is Joseph Plazo. Thank you for listening, and remember, don't litigate, mediate.